Now at 6, KDOT moves forward with plans for the US 69 corridor. Now members of the community weigh in. Plus, Mercy serves up a picnic event for cancer survivors and their families. And middle school kids in Neosho get a tour of the healthcare industry courtesy of Freeman Health System.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It was day 2 of open house meetings with KDOT, where Crawford County residents got a glimpse of final plans for the Highway 69 corridor, and the community is reacting. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The changes will impact drivers from Highway 400 to Arma. KOAM's Lonnie Walton caught up with residents at the Homer Coal Center in Pittsburgh, where they were checking out the renderings.
I spoke to several residents who say they're very excited about the changes coming to Pittsburgh, but some aren't.
Yeah, so we don't like the no lane. It's inconvenient for us.
Mike and Sharon Harrison live in Pittsburgh. They say the new changes to Highway 69 may be a headache for them.
Come out of South Olive and go on the bypass. We turn left to go out to the mall corner and go to the lab and the doctor's offices in the mall. We can't turn left and do that, which is the closest way for us.
Aaron Puskowski is a KDOT engineer. He says changes came from the public's input in previous open house meetings.
To improve safety, improve mobility through the corridor, and those were our 2 high priority items that we've heard from the public.
Some residents say KDOT did a good job listening.
I think what they've done is listen to the general public very well, and I think they've responded to what they've heard.
It's only going to bring business to me. So
what they're doing in there, they're doing a whole lot, and Southeast Kansas ought to be real pleased with how the state's trying to help us.
Another resident is fine with the changes, but also happy that other things will stay the same.
We're going to be able to use the existing 69 bypass, because I think that keeps people coming to town as well as going through town.
Some other folks who spoke to off camera expressed concerns of location of their businesses or questioned whether some of these changes would actually work. And even though not everyone is on board, some still understand the need for change.
I understand the safety, I do.
And I spoke to some residents who said they have to get used to the new changes. Reporting in the 4 states, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
There is one more virtual meeting tomorrow where KDOT will present that final plan. We have all of those details and plan images at KOAMnewsnow.com. Right now, let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a first look at the weather.
Well, temperatures are now dropping down in from the upper 70s. We're going to get down to the lower 60s tonight. Now you can see we've still got mostly cloudy skies, though we are seeing a couple of those clouds breaking apart. Now, ahead of the rain chances tonight, we are under a flood risk for our central and southern counties due to the ongoing flooding that we already have and then any additional rain chances. Now, currently not seeing a lot going on, but we are watching for clusters of isolated thunderstorms popping up out in central parts of Oklahoma, but also western parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Now, again, tonight, for the most of the night, we're looking pretty good. Temperatures are going to drop down pretty quickly down through the 70s into the 60s, and then we start to see those thunderstorm chances popping up around 11 p.m. and we have ongoing storms into tomorrow morning as well, but I'm going to have those details coming up.
And we'll catch you then. The saying goes, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Well, for one 7-year-old cancer survivor in Missouri, that statement touches really close to home. As Anya Henry reports, the family looks to do just that with an actual lemonade stand.
This is Ryan here right before she acquired cancer. Happy, very beautiful girl.
A daunting diagnosis of rhabdomyosarcoma leaves a tumor at the back of 8-year-old Rianne's ear.
She had really bad headaches, extremely bad hole in her head, saying her head hurts real bad in her ear. And she couldn't have anybody talk in the room. Even just a whisper, she would say, "Don't talk."
Single grandfather Pat Telgo, already responsible for 3 children, is met with a new beast to tackle.
I mean, she doesn't have her mom. My grandpa's like the only parent figure she has right now.
The hardest thing dealing with this is she does ask me to save her life. Don't let her die.
But as the saying goes, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And with the sour accumulation of hospital bills and appointment travel expenses, Rianne and her family took the initiative to raise the money on their own with a lemonade stand.
We need to raise some money. being out of work, and to help her all the expenses.
Although some days are hard, Telgo holds on knowing that spunky, energetic girl is still inside of her.
There's days of the week that it don't look like she's going to make it through the night. She's sunken face, tired, sickly. But then she responds a few days later and is like this, happy and cheerful.
Doctors say the tumor has vanished, but cancer cells remain. Along with monetary support, Telgo says he is most in need of prayers.
A lot of prayers, more than anything, the prayers.
Family has another bake sale and fundraiser planned for sometime next week. Cancer survivors and their loved ones gathered at Mercy Cancer Center in Joplin for an afternoon of celebration, community, and reflection. The healthcare provider hosted its annual Cancer Survivors Picnic, a chance to honor those who have fought or are still fighting cancer, alongside the medical teams who've stood by them throughout their journey. Survivors shared their stories of diagnosis, treatment, and recovery while enjoying a picnic lunch with family, friends, and caregivers.
By having support groups here, by having your doctors and your nurses and your caseworkers, they all are here to answer any questions that you have. It is a hard journey, but with lots of love and lots of prayers, you will get through it.
Adding even more fun, there was a raffle for various prizes, bringing even more smiles to an already heartfelt celebration. Middle school students in Neosho, Missouri got a hands-on look at healthcare careers today, thanks to a special program at Freeman Health System's East Campus. The program is MASH Camp. From stethoscopes to scrubs, it's a real-world glimpse into the medical field. The students also took part in a mock physical therapy session.
People get sent home from the hospital and they have to be able to do those activities of daily living. So that's what the therapists are working with, helping them do that. So this kind of mimics some of those things you would teach someone.
Again, that was a MASH camp for the Neosho students. All-America honors for a group of standout softball players. John Dales has more on the Crowder College Elite coming up later in sports. But up first, the annual Galena Days Festival kicks off today with 3 days of family fun. We're going to take you there live up next. Happy 148th birthday, Galena. The oldest mining town in Kansas is getting weekend festivities kicked off for Galena Days, their big celebration. Anthony Saviello is live in Galena.
Yeah, now it's a beautiful day out here on historic Route 66 right here in Galena Days, celebrating the 148th birthday of the city of Galena, known as the oldest mining town in Kansas. Now, of course, you have all of the festival staples, such as local vendors, as you can see right now, local vendors lining the entire parking lot of the police station and fire department, as well as all your festival rides, the Ferris wheel, and crazy other rides that I'm not nearly crazy enough to trust and get on. But all of that combined with the police department stating that their utmost priority is the safety of the people here. So this is the festival you want to be at this weekend. It runs from today till Saturday. So if you have a chance this weekend, come down to Galena for Galena Days. I'm Anthony Saviello. Dow, back to you.
And I disagree. I think you are crazy enough to get on those rides. At any rate, have fun, Anthony. A little bit later, the Cardinals and Royals look to make up ground after yesterday's rain delay. John's going to have more from the big leagues coming up in sports.
And we have storm chances returning later on tonight. I'll have those details right after this. Well, it's the first week of June and it has been a very active weather week. So getting closer to the end of severe weather season, and clearly we're not out of it yet because we do have ongoing severe thunderstorm chances. Now taking a look outside downtown Joplin, we've got those overcast skies. We can expect maybe a couple of clouds to break before we start to see our next round of thunderstorms moving in later on this evening. We are under a slight risk, though. You can see we've already been looking at the radar where those isolated storms are popping out west in western parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, though we are clipping just a couple of our counties in that level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. That's going to be later on today after about 11 p.m. tonight and until the early morning hours on Friday. Strong winds, hail, and definitely ongoing flooding as well. So we are under a flood watch for our central and southern counties, just ahead of all the storms that we're going to start to see moving in later on this evening. Right now we're looking pretty clear, but again, we're seeing all of these isolated storms popping up in the west. Now, some of them have produced already tornadoes up there in Kansas, a couple severe thunderstorms, and actually you can see how one PDS tornado, which is a particularly dangerous tornado, developed out in Texas. So we've got a lot going on. Now, that's not going to quite make it into our area. It becomes a little bit more widespread in central parts of Oklahoma before moving into our area tonight and through Friday morning. So we do have that flood watch extended through Friday morning, and also that slight risk Friday as well, right where our flood watch is. So we are expecting heavy amounts of rainfall. So as we go through the rest of the afternoon, again, we might see some clouds breaking up before we get into this evening. If they don't, that's good for us. It might mean that our threat drops just slightly. If they do, we could see some stronger storms moving in. Now by 11:30, we're going to start to see these clusters of thunderstorms pushing into southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma. Not that big of a severe threat until we get into about 3 a.m. So you can see how the line of storms moves in. We might get an isolated storm that tries to push in ahead of that main line. If it does, that could be where we see our highest threat for severe weather. Then once that main line moves in, it does break apart. It stays mostly to the south of us, but we are looking at a wind threat and a hail threat with that as it pushes in, not to mention just the heavy rainfall that we're going to see moving in through our central and southern counties. By about 7 a.m., threat drops, but we are seeing heavy rain south of I-44. Then we get into Friday, could see some isolated showers and then isolated thunderstorms popping up later in the evening, more in those northern counties, dropping quite a bit of rainfall. But again, another round of severe weather comes in after midnight Friday night and into Saturday morning. That is going to bring some strong storms, widespread heavy rainfall, and again, an additional threat for flooding. But you can see the line is southern part of this system does push through our southern counties. Now, again, additional rainfall chances through Saturday. Could see about a ½ an inch in those northern counties, but the further south and southwest we go, where we see these rain chances continue to push through, up to 5 inches of rainfall accumulation. We've already seen ongoing flooding threats along the Neosho River out in Miami, and so we're just seeing 2 more rounds of heavy rainfall Friday night, tonight, Friday night, and into Saturday morning. After that, a couple more chances of rain, but we're finally going to get to see some sunshine as we get into next week.
That will certainly be welcome. Not only have we seen high water along the Neosho River, but also even after the rain has passed, as some of that water moves downstream, it's continuing to rise. So people need to be aware of that and the fact that it's likely to continue.
Yes, it is.
Lindsay, thanks. Still ahead, 4 softball players from Crowder College receive All-American honors, and the Royals and Cardinals play a doubleheader in St. Louis. John Dales has those stories and more for us. It's coming up next in Sport.
Hey, welcome into sports. I'm John Dales. And Crowder College softball put together an historic season this spring. In their first year under the direction of head coach Nikki Keck, the Rough Riders won 54 games, and they were one of the last 6 teams standing in the Junior College World Series. This week, 4 Rough Riders receive All-America honors from the NJCAA. Designated player Jasmine Myers and pitcher Jessica Smith, they're both first-team All-Americans. Former Columbus Titan Katie Simpson is on the 3rd team All-American as an outfielder, along with utility player Maya Curry. Simpson and Smith are both freshmen, while Myers and Curry are sophomores. The Joplin Outlaws have been down in Sherman, Texas for a couple of days now, and they have yet to play a full game because of the rain. Tonight they play 2. First game is just getting started right now in Sherman. This is a continuation of Tuesday's contest. Then tonight's regularly scheduled game will follow immediately after. After yesterday's game between the Cardinals and Royals got rained out, today we've got a doubleheader in St. Louis as well, entering the day with the I-70 season series tied at 2. Game 1 of the twin bill between the Royals and Cardinals. Leadoff man in the top of the first, Jonathan India, gets the scoring started. He crushes this pitch for a leadoff home run, and Kansas City takes a 1-0 lead. Top of the 4th, last year's 6th overall draft pick, Jack Caglione, looking for his first big league hit, and he gets it with a double down the line in right field. That scores a run. His family loves it, and that puts the Royals up 2-0. They'll make sure to hang on to that baseball for safekeeping. Bottom of the 8th, Cards down 1 until this swing of the bat from Ivan Herrera. That is gone for his 6th home run of the season, and it's a big one. It puts the Redbirds in front, but we go to extras, tied at 4. Top of the 10th now, Vinny Pasquantino hits it up the middle. Mason Wynn can't make the play, so Michael Garcia comes around from second to score the go-ahead run. But once again, the Cardinals would respond after an RBI groundout ties it. Wilson Contreras comes to the plate with the winning run on second, and he delivers a base hit into left field. That's a walk-off winner. Cardinals come from behind to beat the Royals. Final score 6-5. And the 2025 NBA Finals get started tonight down in Oklahoma City. The Thunder hope to take another step towards their first championship since moving to OKC in 2008. The Thunder have won 12 of their 16 playoff games thus far. Most of those were to the Nuggets in round 2. 3 of them were. Their opponent in the finals is the Indiana Pacers, champions of the Eastern Conference, who similarly have lost just 4 times in the playoffs. OKC's leader, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, says the Thunder have to keep doing what got them here, playing loose and having fun.
Staying true to who we are is the reason why we're here, and we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we changed or try to be something we're not. Once we got here, we've had success doing so, and if we want to keep having success, we have to be who we are. And it's organic, so it's nothing like we have to think about or force. It just is who we are.
What he's been able to do this year has been amazing. He's an amazing player, the MVP of our league, rightfully so for a reason. And I think we're looking forward to the challenge of competing against him and this whole group for that matter. So it's going to be a lot of fun. They're a great team, well coached. He's an amazing player, and it's going to be a fun series.
And an added bonus for the Thunder, they are very well rested. They haven't played since last Wednesday, so they come in tonight with fresh legs.
Hope they're rested and not rusted. We'll find out, I guess, soon enough. We'll be right back.
Great.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. June marks Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. We're going to hear from the experts who say early detection is crucial. Plus, President Trump calls for travel restrictions following an attack in Colorado. And Nintendo's newest game console is generating some serious buzz. We're going to take a look at the lengths some gamers went to for the Switch 2. Those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up tonight, KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. One thing we don't really need at the moment is more rain, but unfortunately, it looks like some of us are likely to get some.
Yes, we are. We've got thunderstorm chances rolling in later on this evening after about 11 p.m. until mid-morning on Friday. Another round Friday night and into Saturday morning. So a couple more rounds of some pretty heavy rainfall.
And eventually, warmer and drier.
Eventually.
Final sports note.
Some big news in the NFL this afternoon as we find out that Aaron Rodgers will sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Chiefs won't see them in the regular season. Playoffs, who knows?
Rodgers has been talked about and rumored for some time, but now I guess it is official.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Steeler. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.